What is going on, One Piece TCG addicts and fanatics? It is your boy Hyper TCG here, coming at you with another deck video. This one being with a leader we've already discussed before here on the channel. Is Monkey D. Luffy Mono. Don times 1. All your characters gain +1 cost. If you have a character with the cost of 8 or more, this character gains 1,000 power. Amazing ability, okay? Amazing ability with it also having 5 life. So think about it, you play defensive enough, 6k potentially sitting at 4 life. Or 6k sitting at 3 life. Really good. Telling you. So I made one deck before. That one was just like me messing around, not really caring about the meta or anything like that. But this one is a little bit more specific to the OPO10/EBO2 meta that is going to be hitting us very soon. And there are cards in this deck I can't run at the moment since technically they're not here in the United States yet, but we will talk about them. But yeah, we will continue with the video now. I got everything laid out here in perfect order so that way we don't get confused and we'll know exactly what we're talking about here. So for starters with the deck, we're actually going to go over the events first. And you guys are probably thinking to yourselves, that's a pretty fast stack of events. You might break. Hey, listen. I got this figured out, okay? I did some cooking in the kitchen. I did some sauce, all right? Just listen. All right, we're going to run 3 of the Ice Age, 1 cost. Main, give up to one of your opponent's characters -5 cost during this turn. Trigger KO up to one of your opponent's 3 cost or less. Perfect staple. Everyone uses it. Everyone runs it. Everyone loves it. Then we run the starter deck event. I have my crew. 1 cost, main, draw a card, then give up to one of your characters, not your opponent's, your characters, +3 cost until the end of your opponent's next turn, with a trigger similar to Ice Age, KO up to one of your characters' cost with 3 or less. The reason why we run this is for that little bit of draw, and to be able to help boost up some of our Straw Hat characters to prevent them from getting KO'd by effects, events, and etc. And then we already know, gotta run that 1000 Sunny, baby, 4 or nothing. That's what I say. I don't care what any other people say out there with the deck list. I don't care if they say you don't need it, you don't need to run 4. I say you do, especially with the current meta coming out. 1 cost. All of your black Straw Hat characters gain +1 cost, and this is for the entirety of the game because unless they have a Dragon's Breath red event, this stage stays on forever. And it's kind of good trash cycling for like some of our trash a card from hand to draw a card characters, so it helps you be able to do that instead of making a decision on do you trash this character you potentially wanted to play. And yes, that is all the events. We run 10 events, so that is the first start of the deck right there. Now this little fast stack is our 2Ks. We all know Tessuru, we all love Tessuru. On play, you get to give up to one of your opponent's characters -2 cost during this turn. Perfect, flawless, we love her to death. Amazing 2K counter. Now here's where we get a little spicy. Okay, hear me out. Herides, 2000 counter. Activate main, Blackbeard, no on play. You may rest this character up to one of your black Straw Hat type characters, gain +2 cost until the end of your opponent's next turn, helping us prevent Blackbeard from easily removing stuff or Doflamingo from gravity blading stuff, but I shall continue. Then, if you have a character with a cost of 8 or more, draw 1 card and trash 1 card from your hand. And what's amazing about this, right, is that he also works as like a semi-pseudo blocker because this is an activate main, so I get to repetitively do this as long as he stays on the field. Pretty nice. I know. You can tell me in the comments I'm a genius. You can be like, Hyper, no one's ever thought about Luffy like this. You're cooking. And I'm gonna be like, hush, I'm continuing here. So 1-legged toy soldier, activate main. You may trash this character, give up to one of your opponent's characters -3 cost during this turn. Amazing 2K. Activate main, absolutely great. Trashing it, being able to be brought back by like Rebecca or Gecko Moria, but we're gonna get to that later. And then for our last little bit of the 2Ks, we run a Tashiki. We all love Tashiki. You may rest this character, give up to one of your opponents -2 cost during this turn. She's 3/4, right? So this actually becomes an amazing pseudo blocker because even though she is 4, it could become. Sorry guys, phone was being dumb, but we're back. But like I was saying, because she is at 4,000 power, if she is left unchecked, she can become a serious problem with a swing and or using her effect potentially. So yeah, those are all of our 2Ks. We run 12 2K counters. So now we're at 22 cards in total of the deck. So basically halfway there. Now we're going to talk about the blockers. All right, now hear me out. We're going to run 1 Nami, all right, just because you'll be able to get a bunch of the effects from all the Straw Hat stuff that we have. But also, if we have 6 or less cards in our hand and a character with a cost of 8 or more, then we get to draw 1 card, and she's a blocker, cheap little blocker. We love cheap blockers, easy to still rotate and stay on curve. And then we do 2 Rebeccas for right now until, OPO10 where Blackbeard becomes more of a problem, and a black leader facing a black leader, they're going to know you're playing Rebecca. So for right now, I'm keeping her in, but in the future, I will be taking her out and substituting her with a different blocker, and I will make a video on that too. But yeah, we run 2 of her. And then still running 4 of my man Scat Manipu, a 4/5 blocker with 1000 counter, activate main, give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 cost during this turn. I don't really let him be used as a blocker until almost at 2 life, maybe 1 life, just depending on how the game's been moving. Basically just keep him up here because that constant 1k cost, that 1 minus cost is just insane, and 4/5 leader ability makes him a 5 cost. Can be returned by Gravity Blade, yes, but they got a while until they can really use that if I've been seeing all the cards I want to see and removing everything I want to. And now we move on to our bruisers, attackers, the guys that are here to get shit done in the middle of the game. For starters, we're going to run with the world's most wanted human being on the planet, Nico Robin, 6/7, starter deck Nico Robin, by the way, 1000 counter, on play and when attacking. So Blackbeard ain't doing nothing about this. Might be able to do something, on the on play, but hey, when attacking, is going to be amazing. Plus, with the stage and the leader ability, she's an 8 cost. Amazing, amazing. Then he gets his own, plus 1,000. She gets to use her own ability. Amazing. We run 3 of her. And then we run, you're going to notice there's going to be a lot of 3s here in this deck. We also run 3 of the starter deck Sanji. Everyone knows and loves the Sanji, especially with that new leader, the black and purple leader. Very good leader. I just don't have all the cards at the moment to fully run it, so sticking with my boy, the mono black Luffy. But on play, if you have a character with a cost of 6 or more, if you have a Dawn on Luffy, it counts for himself because he's Straw Hat and he'll gain +1. And then you get to KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. So really amazing card. Even with Blackbeard, you still get really prime opportunities to use that. And then we run 3, is a little bit of some secret sauce for you guys. We run 3 of these 5/6 Frankies. Dawn ×1 on opponent's turn. If I have a character with a cost of 6 or more, again, 1 on Luffy, he gets to use his own ability. And then with stage, he becomes a 7 cost, keeping him out of range of gravity blades. So really amazing. If you have a character with a cost of 6 or more, this character cannot be KO'd by your opponent's effects and gains 2,000 power. So you're swinging for 7, right? And then on your opponent's turn, he's an 8k, so it becomes very hard to get rid of him. With our stage and with our leader, he becomes a 7 cost, so Doflamingo isn't gravity blading him. And if we really wanted to, we could give him a +3 with either our Herities or the I Still Have My Crew, and then be able to trigger with the Herities the draw 1, trash 1. So there's like a lot of combo action happening right here with just this guy. Very nice card, love that. And then the last of our bruisers and attackers is this Usopp here. You guys are all like, whoa, Usopp, what happened here? This, if you haven't gotten that far, I won't say nothing, but 3 cost, 4,000 power, 1k Dawn. Dawn ×1 when attacking. If you have a character with a cost of 8 or more, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. This card is insane, does so much work. Leader, stage, gets him up to 5. Really good. We love the number 5 and up when it comes for KOing abilities and all that other junk. And then another great thing is with Herities, he becomes a 7 cost out of gravity blade range, and with I Have My Crew, he becomes 8 cost. Then boom, he gets to use his own ability. Luffy gets to use his ability. It's amazing. There's some really crazy cool combos that you can get off in the early game if you see the right cards with this. So yeah, we run 3 of him, and that is all of the bruisers and attackers. Hold on, I gotta remember how many I have. I can't remember off the top of my head. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 12 bruisers for the deck. And now, for now, you guys are all waiting for this, is my boss monster ratio. And now you guys are going to be expecting certain cards, and you're going to be seeing different ratios and different cards in here that normally you would not see. So for starters, we got the 9 cost Kaido. Activate main. You may trash 1 card from your hand. If this character was played on this turn, trash up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 7 or less. Then your opponent trashes a card from hand. Very, 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 very good into Blackbeard. If you are a black deck and you're not running this Kaido, I don't know what you're doing, especially with that new EV02 event, the 2 cost event that allows you to search for any color, any character in your color for 4 or higher. Like, there's no reason to not be running Kaido, especially with how prominent Blackbeard's going to be. And now we run the forgotten 8/10 no counter Monkey D Luffy. Look at this, guys, really quickly before you see anything else. Notice how there's no on play, no activate main, no nothing. It's just right there in text. If you have a character with a cost of 10 or more, if you have 1 on Luffy and you have your stage, he becomes a 10. Boom, ability done. Got that. This character gains Rush, an amazing card that your opponent is not going to expect into most matchups unless you're playing some like crazy veteran who knows every single card in the game that you could possibly run in your deck. But yeah, amazing, really good for closing games and creating some crazy pressure that your opponent was not anticipating out of you. Just all around really great. And then we run 3 of our big boy here, Jack, 7 cost, 8k, no counter. This character gains 4 costs, so 11. So on our 7 Dawn turn, or 8 Dawn turn actually, you play out the Jack, give 1 to Luffy. Luffy now, as long as Jack stays on the field, will forever stay 6,000 power. Okay, as long as you keep Jack up when you need to and rest him when you want to, I'm telling you, Luffy becomes pretty hard to deal with. But yeah, we run 3 of him, and then that is it, being 9 boss monsters in total. And what you guys have noticed is I don't have a single one of the Sabos in here, and I don't have a single one of these Gecko Morios. And the reason for that, right, is I want to throw a curveball right into the meta, and not locals and stuff, where people are anticipating certain plays out of me, but they don't end up seeing that play, and now the whole thing they just prepped for me to do that was completely pointless, especially with Blackbeard. You know, oh, you canceled on play abilities when I get to 8 Dawn, that's perfectly fine. Guess who I have sitting waiting for me? Jack. What are you gonna do about that, Blackbeard? You ain't gonna do nothing. I'm still KOing. Like, I'm still getting that cycle. Same with Kaido. Does the same thing. Same with Luffy. None of these bosses can be affected by Kaido whatsoever. None of my main cards on the field can be affected except for Sanji initially. It's a really good deck. You know, I can sit here and spout out forever and ever about this deck, but the video's already gone for a good decent amount of time. So I'm going to cut it off here with just saying, definitely give your boy, Monkey D. Luffy here, a chance, okay? I know there's other decks that everyone's, their mama is saying that you need to do this, you need to play this, you should run this. Man, listen, don't listen to everybody. Try this deck out. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments, and then let me know if any of you guys took it to locals and how you ended up doing with it. But yep, that's going to be the video for the day. Hope all you addicts and fanatics going on out there spend your money like degenerates and have as much fun as humanly possible. Peace.